So we've been working through the 40 days of grace. We've been learning how to build our lives on grace. And at the end of the 40 days, we're going to fast together as a body. A fast is when you take 24 hours and you don't eat food, you just drink water or juice. And I just want to be really clear about the details up front. It's going to start on November 3rd, that's Thursday, November 3rd at 6 o'clock p.m. So you eat up until that time and then you're done. And it lasts 24 hours and we will break the fast on November the 4th, Friday, November the 4th at 6 o'clock p.m. Now, we would love for you to be able to do that with us. So we're going to have a meal ready at the chapel. And then we're going to go from the breaking the fast together right into worship night. It's going to be a really special spiritual event for all of us. You might be asking, why do we fast? When Jesus was here, his followers didn't fast, and the others came to him and said, why don't your followers fast like we do? He said, because I'm here. I'm here to be with them. When I leave, they will fast. Fasting is about being able to communicate with God's Spirit. When we stop eating, say no to our flesh, it gives us a chance to take that time and focus our spirit in listening and in speaking to God. And so we've been working through the 40 days of grace. And you got your first blue card and you realized, wow, I had no righteousness. Then you learned that Christ had died on the cross and he wants to take your sin and give you his righteousness, 100% of his righteousness. And then it got really crazy and we got the blue prescription card. And we learned from the blue prescription card that the more sin, the more grace. So when we're tempted, instead of going, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do better. Remember these 4 things? Because Jesus died in my place, because Jesus paid my debt, because God poured out his wrath for me, for this act on Jesus, and because if I do this, I'm going to get more grace. Well, as you discovered, something amazing, wonderful, too good to be true happens at that moment. When you believe Jesus for who you are and what he's done for you, when you accept his grace, your spirit, God's spirit, comes alive. And it rules. That's why it says grace rules. This fast is focused on listening to God's Spirit. Maybe you never stopped trying to prove yourself, and God's Spirit says, stop. Maybe you never accepted the grace. You never accepted what he's done for you. And you need to hear God's Spirit. But for most of us, this is going to be, wait, God's Spirit, I want it to rule my life. I want whatever he wants. And he is going to either say to you amazing things about what God is doing in you, how God owns all of you and all of your life. And for others, he's going to call you. He's going to call you to take steps you've never taken before. Then we're going to come together on Friday night, and we're going to break that fast together. And then we're going to go into worship, where we get to praise God's Spirit from God's Spirit. We get to accept what God has done for us by grace and commit to building our lives on grace from here forward. I'm looking forward to hearing God's Spirit myself. I'm looking forward to listening and obeying God's Spirit myself. And I can't wait for you to do it with me.